Hi, good morning again, everyone. It's Debbie with the Fancy Stamper, and I have another really quick video for you. I wanted to get this tutorial in. It's a very simple card, and I know when you see what I'm doing, you're gonna probably make fun of me and say, that's not simple, there's a lot of techniques. It doesn't. Honestly, just follow along and you'll see what I mean. I'm doing it the easiest possible way, and it's actually a very quick card that's gorgeous. So, do you guys remember in our latest catalog that came out just in July, because this is still July, just towards the end. But anyway, our newest catalog, we got this gorgeous stamp set Magical Mermaid. Has all these different possibilities, and we've made some really cute little cards with it. Well, this is the one we're going to be making today. I'm going to show you how to put this together. And again, it's not that hard, even though there's a little sponging and some other things on there. And then, you know, we like to decorate our envelopes too. So I'm going to show you how to do these right now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So first, let's just grab our paper trimmer and take a regular piece of paper. So I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I'm going to cut it the normal A2 size, which is 5.5 and 5.5 one way, and okay, it's 5.5 this way and 8.5 this way, which makes it 5.5 by 4.25. Okay. Now, when you're home making your own cards, you can do any kind of size you want. You can do what we call, I guess they call it an A-frame card sometimes. So that's when you take the piece of paper and you hold it long ways. You cut it at the 4.25 mark instead of the 5.5 mark, and it's long ways. So what that does for you, and I'm going to do it with this other cardstock, is it just gives you a long narrow piece of cardstock, and you're going to fold it here so your card will open like an A-frame. That's how they get that name. But for this card here, I'm just going to do the regular one. So I've got that folded. So basically what I do is I just get the corners to meet, and then I use my bone folder to get a nice crease there. I just burnish it down, and it's got a nice little crease, not hard to do. So that part's done. And I, again, going to be using this set. So what I like to do when I know I'm going to be using some sponging techniques or watercolor techniques is I will stamp a few things ahead. So I'm going to show you how I stamp this, and then we're going to use the ones that are already dry. Because this is using the archival ink, the black archival ink. And it's a little bit thicker, so it takes a little longer to dry. And if you're going to be coloring or doing anything on here, it's better to have it completely dry. Some people go ahead and get out their heat tool and they dry it. I've done that before, but since I had time, I had already pre-stamped these. So we're going to use those, but I'll show you how we do them. It's very simple. Get this stuff out of the way. And I think the main thing is just making sure you have enough cardstock and other things. On this piece of paper, what I did was I had just trimmed a 2-inch piece of paper. You see they go together that way. But I'm going to show you on this piece of paper. You don't really need to trim it if you don't want to. I just did it because I had a strip like that laying around. All right, so when you ink it up, I just tap it and I just give it a little twist. You don't want to twist it too much because these red rubber ones can get black ink along these sides, and then you can get, like, see, there it is right there. There's a mess already ready to happen. So we don't want that. So let me see if I can clean that off with, I just have a baby wipe handy just for such situations. Aha, that is already dried on there. Okay, I use this stamp a lot. As you can see, it's well loved. That's what we say in the stamping world when we just want to say it's dirty and it won't come off because it's stained. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and push down evenly, and that's it. Lift it up, it looks perfect. Okay, this is the one we're going to let dry for next time, so I'm going to put that to the side. And then I like to clean off my stamps. I have a stamp and scrub buried here, but I'm just going to use this baby wipe to get this cleaned off because I do like to clean them in between. And we're going to use this one when we color it. But before we do that, I am going to show you some other things we're going to use. I already showed you the archival black. We're also going to be using some tempting turquoise and one of my favorite colors and everyone else's, lemon lime twist. This is gorgeous, and we're going to be using it for sponging. It's really pretty. It makes a really pretty card. So get those out of the way, and we're going to trim another piece of Whisper White so we can use it for our card front so that we can go ahead and sponge on it. So talking about sponging. Some people think that you can only sponge on watercolor paper, and it does look really nice on watercolor, but you don't have to. You can use plain Whisper White, or what I like to use is, I'm going to show you this, because some people say they can't tell the difference, but I can tell the difference on this. I'm going to show it to you. This is called Shimmery White, and it comes in 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And I'm not sure if you can see it in this light, but do you see any glitters or shimmers in it? It's got a shimmery undertone to it. It's really, really pretty. So for our card front, remember the overall is 5.5 times 4.25. So I'm going to make it smaller than that so I can remain with a little border going around like this. I do like to see a border of the color. Whoops. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one at 3 3/4, and for the long way I'm going to do, let's see, 5.5. I think 5, right? Yeah, that sounds right. All right, so I'll do 5 this way and 3 3/4 the other way, so then we'll be all set. Okay, I need a new blade. That's why you see me going back and forth. Normally you don't have to do that. I just got into the habit because my blade needs to be replaced and I haven't done it because I've been lazy. So before I go any further, I don't know if you noticed this little host code up here, but I am having a special for the final week in July that if you go to my site, and I'll have all the details listed on this video, if you go to my shopping page and you order anything before July 31st, I will go ahead and give you a free gift. You'll get one of these packages, not these packages, you'll get a brand new package of the faceted gems. You can get them in either gold or silver, and that is for just going to my site and placing at least a $40 order and using my host code. So again, I'll have all the details on there for you, as well as all the little measurements, so you don't have to worry too much, because I know I'm going kind of quick. But I know you guys are busy, so you don't have all day to sit here and look at me. Anyway, so this is our shimmery paper, and this is what I'm going to use for this particular project. Now, Stampin' Up does sell these sponges, and they actually come in a circle. They're round, but I always trim them because I like the little edges, so if I want to get detailed, I can. And plus, you know, let's face it, you get more out of them. So we're going to be using those. We're going to be using some blender pens, which I have right here. These are awesome. I love these. You get 3 in a package for 12 bucks, and they last forever. What they are is kind of like a marking pen that doesn't have any color in it. So it's basically a marking pen that's clear, and you use it with your different colored inks. So you can just, wait till I show you, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna love it. All right, so here's my thing. This is my shimmery white that we're gonna be sponging on, and I like to start with the lighter color first. In our case, the lighter color is gonna be this Lemon Lime Twist, my favorite color. I love it. All right, so I am going to get some color on the sponge. And do you see anything on there? Because I don't. You can never see it. It's so weird. It's on there, trust me. And then I start from the edge. What I'm going to do is try to have part of it light and part of it a little darker. So I'm just going to start swirling it on there. And you start out light, and you can build up more color as you go. You don't have to start out super heavy. Just takes a couple minutes until you get it where you want it. So let's see, I'm just gonna get a little more on there and stop and see where we're at. Okay, so you see that so far? It's just kind of vague, and you know, no two are gonna look alike. So basically keep going until you're happy. I mean, I don't know what, you might like it super dark, you might like it super light. So just do it until it makes you happy. That's what stamping is all about. You gotta be happy, or else you won't do it. All right, so I'm gonna leave it about there, and I'm gonna add in my other color, which is Tempting Turquoise. Such a pretty color, goes really good with this set. And here it is, Tempting Turquoise. So just go ahead and open that up. I'm gonna use my other sponge for that, which you can see there's more use on that one. So I'm gonna turn it to a side that it's relatively unscathed. And again, start from the outside and work your way in. This is darker, so you want to be a little more cognizant of how much you're putting on there. You don't want to just smear it all over, because it might get a little too dark. You won't like it. I don't know. Now for me, I like to blend it with the color that's already there. I think it gives it a nice look, but you might want to keep your colors separate. Again, do what you like for you, because that's what creating and crafting is all about, just making sure you're happy with the finished product. And if you're happy with it, everyone else is going to be happy with it too, more or less. And if they're not, it's okay, because it's your project, right? All right, so I like this, except for, I think there's some white right here, and I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. So I am happy with it like this. And last but not least, I'm going to use the Tempting Turquoise to, I want to get something else in there. I know, I want to get this. This is part of the set too. What this is just some kind of like seagrass or sea greens like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in there too. So let me find an acrylic block. I'll use this as the giant one, but that's okay. And I don't know what color I want to use. Let me see how the Tempting Turquoise looks. I'm going to be going over the Tempting Turquoise. We'll see how it looks. So I'll just ink it up a little bit. And try not to get the edges. But I did get the edges. So I'm going to clean them off real quick because I don't want to mess up my sponging job. That would be awful. Yeah, I would not like that. Okay, now I'll try again. So this was completely inundated with this, so I will be a little more careful this time. Let me try again. Won't go as hard on it. I guess I just overdid it. Okay, let's try that. I think that looks fine. I mean, it's blue. I don't know if seagrass is blue, but that's okay. I'm going to just go across the edges. And remember, when you put your little mermaid girl on there, she's going to go over the top of all that stuff, so it should be fine. So I think that looks really good, and I'm happy with it. So I will leave it like that. And I was going to use the green one. I'd still use the green one. That's fine. Alrighty, now let's put this to the side, let it get a little dry, and let's turn our attention to this lady here. So I'm going to get out one of my, these are my blender pens, so I'm going to get one of my blender pens out, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use this blender pen. Now what you want to do is you're going to open your stamp pad partly. So you see, you just kind of crack it open, and it's to the point where you're about to flip it, but you're not going to flip it. You're just going to leave it down. Oops. Okay, leave it down, and then I want you to hold it like this. Like you're doing CPR on a little baby. Pretend you are if you're a nurse. I know there's a lot of you on here. And then you're going to squeeze right in the middle, okay? Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Then go ahead and open it. And you see there's some color right here. So that's what you're going to use for your color. Now, what I did is I just kind of took this pen, see it's clean, and I picked up some of this color right here. And you just kind of go around and blend it. It'll get lighter as you go because the color will wear off. You pick up a little more color and keep going. For the tail area, I just kind of go around different areas. I don't stay in one spot because I want it to look watercolory. So I just kind of add it in there, and then I'm going to add this to her little hairband. Okay, and you don't have to be too perfect either. It can go a little bit outside the lines, and believe me, no one will say a word. All right, now I'm gonna get this other one out. Same thing, kind of open it part way. Oops, don't let it flip open. Squeeze it in the middle. Pretend you're doing CPR to it, but you're not. It's already alive, don't worry. Okay, then flip it open. You've got that. Some give you more color, some give you less. You might have to do it again. Now, I think you saw me kind of going like this. I was just getting the color off the edges so I can use it on a different color, okay? So I'm going to fill that up with that color and go back over here and add that onto the tail section and keep adding it. Remember, you can go back and add color all you want. You can get it until you like it, you know, because it doesn't always happen right away. And again, even though this is a little bit more advanced of a technique, it doesn't take long to do it. You can do this pretty quickly. So this has only been a couple minutes and we're almost done with this project. So this is drying up, so I'm going to close it again, squeeze it some more, get some more of that. Some people actually touch their pen right to here. You can do that if you're brave. I can't do it because I end up getting too much color and then I don't like it. So you can do it if you want to. You can do anything you want. It's your project. The great thing about taking stuff from other people, like I encourage people when they're watching me to, you know, follow what I'm doing and everything, but you can also make it your own in so many ways. And that's a good thing to do because you get to sort of get creative. You get to go outside your comfort zone a little bit in the privacy of your own place, and that's always fun to do. Okay, I'm pretty much done with her tail. So I'm happy with her tail. So I'm going to put this away, and I know I have a marker here, so I'm going to just go ahead and use this marker for her hair, color in her hair. I'll just give her yellow hair. I know mermaids are supposed to have red hair, right? But that's okay, she can have that hair. And I don't have anything for her body, unfortunately, so I'm gonna look for a pencil. I have watercolor pencils, and what you can do with the watercolor pencil is just go ahead and find either a pink one, or I have a brown one floating around. I can't find it. So I'm going to use the pink one. I'm going to put just a little bit of the watercolor pencil on there. Make sure the color's off of here, and I'm going to blend this one so she has kind of a pink tone to her body. All right, now she's done. Now, once she's done, there's no kind of die cutting for this, so you just use some scissors, and we call this fussy cutting. It doesn't have to take a long time. You don't have to be perfect. You just kind of quickly go around the outline. You know, I like to leave just a little bit of the white showing if I can. Sometimes I get too close and it doesn't work out that way. That's okay too. As long as you get pretty close, you're going to be fine. It's going to look just as good on your finished project, you'll see. So you just go all the way around, snip off the extra if it gets in your way like it just did for me. And then continue on. Sometimes if you're filming and the camera's in your way, it might take you longer, like me. But just pretend like it's not there. And do try to not cut yourself, because that's so unfun. And then you have to stop and get a Band-Aid, and that's just no fun at all. So that means you have to stop crafting. So I'm just going to continue on with this cutting and get it finished, hopefully without cutting my finger or cutting her tail off. I don't want anybody to lose any limbs here, me or the mermaid. Okay, I'm going to go around her hair so I can get a better bead on her hair, and then get around the top of her head first. All right, and then I'll just trim up her hair just a little bit so it looks a little bit better. Okay, again, you don't have to get that fancy. It's not that big a deal. Just have to get it to where you're happy with it. Honestly, I'm happy with it right here. So now we're at the point where we are going to start putting together this card, but wait, we're not going to put it together first. First, we have to do one more thing. We have to stamp a sentiment, okay? So they have some really cute sentiments in this stamp set. And one of the ones I love so much is I'll Never Stop Believing in You. I love that one. It's so sweet. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do is use my archival ink again, because I like how it pops against everything else. I have it on my acrylic stamp block. I'm going to just go ahead and get a little ink on there, and I'm going to come over here and just straight down, straight up. And that looks just about perfect to me. So the next thing I'm going to do is something that's a little trick, and I like to give you guys tricks all that I can. When you're in a hurry and you're trying to do a quick project, which honestly, even with these techniques, this is still a quick project, I like to pull out my paper punches, because the reason why is it just takes no time at all to use the paper punches. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and paper punch this sentiment out, because I can get a really nice look with not a lot of effort. And then I'm going to get the contrasting color, which I think we were doing the green color, so I'm going to get that. So that'll be my background. And then we're all set. So all I have to do is put a little bit of snail adhesive on here. and put that on here. And sometimes you want to make it even a little more special than that. So what you can do is get a little embellishment like this little baby heart we have, and go ahead and stamp yourself a little heart right here in this little space. Sometimes you don't have the embellishments like, you know, the ones you buy from the catalog, you know, the ones that are the little hearts or whatever they have that day. They have, like the ones I'm going to give you guys, they have these little glimmer dots, they have these glimmer dots, they have enamel pieces, they have all sorts of stuff. But if you don't have it, then you can always just use a stamp. Sometimes you can even cut out a little piece of glimmer paper. Sometimes you can even cut out a little piece of designer paper, and it looks really, really nice. So, all right, we are ready to put this together. So first what I'm going to do is take a few, I'm going to get some dimensionals, and I'm going to put them on this little mermaid so I can get her, have a little bit of dimension, pop her up off the page just a little bit. And remember, these dimensionals now come in 2 sizes. They have the mini size and they have the regular size that we're used to. So you will be able to have a lot of fun with those. I love these. A little bit goes a long way. And actually in one package you get 3 of these sheets. You get 300 all in total. I think it's 300 or 400. No, it's 300. It's $4. All I know is every time I have an order, I always buy some because you can never have enough. I like to use them. All right, with this lady, this mermaid lady, I'm going to put her around here, and I like to keep her with her body kind of straight and her tail kind of curved, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to pop up this little sentiment too, so I'm going to get a few dimensionals on here as well. And the paper punches I used were, let's see, 1.5 inches and 1 3/4. But you can use any 2 that match your stamp and that fit what you have. I'll tell you, it's a great investment though. We have all sizes now, so it's really awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right up here in this corner. And last but not least, I'm going to get my snail adhesive. And I like to go around all 4 edges. It's just my personal preference. A lot of people don't. It works out fine for them, so it's okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here as straight as I can. Get that little dimensional backing off of there. All right, so that's our finished card. Now, I was telling you about the envelopes, and I do like to decorate the envelopes. It just gives it a more finished look. So in this set, we do have a cute little mermaid that's adorable. Let's find her. Here she is. So again, what I like to do is just sort of try to match whatever color the card base is, or I just try to match it in some way, make it look better. And I just give it a little ink. And then right here in the corner, put it on there. And here's your finished card. All right. So thank you guys very much. Here's the other 2 that we made. They look just the same. But I thank you guys for coming and watching me again. I'm going to go ahead and get these edited for you. Remember the host code. I'll have everything down in the comments if you need it. This host code only runs till July 31st. I look forward to seeing you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.